Guys, welcome back. So a lot of people have been asking me how I build my arrows. So as it would happen, a buddy of mine wants some arrows built, and we're going to go ahead and do that. So what we have is some 300 spine Apollos from Sirius Archery. We have a squaring apparatus as well as on the spinner, and we're going to start squaring our ends of our arrows. So we'll just square them up, make sure they're good. Alright. And we got 9 arrows. What we're doing is 225 grains up front. We have 125 grain black hornet, and then we have a 200 grain broadhead, both the samurai and the masa. And I'm going to build 6 of the black hornets, and I'm going to build 3 with a 200 grain broadhead up front, and that's what we're going for. So we'll get all of these squared, and then we're going to insert tune. Shouldn't take too long. I want to square up both ends, the knock end and the insert end. Doesn't take much. Sirius does a really good job of cutting their arrows down. They also offer this service for additional fee per arrow. I will say it is quite pricey, but this does take some time. By the time you insert tune, knock tune, and fletch your arrows, you're going to spend about an hour and a half on each arrow. But this is the process that most arrow shops won't do, or most bow shops won't do. No, I think I flipped this one. So we'll just verify that. And in doubt, just do it again. The spinner is really great. It's aluminum. It's got steel ball bearings. It's very stout. And it's very heavy. It's not a cheap plastic one. It's very smooth. It does a great job. So the Apollos are .204 diameter, much like the Axis. I believe 5 millimeters. Let's just hit this side a little bit more. We're almost done. This is the way I do it. I don't know if it's the right way. I don't know if it's the wrong way, but this is how I build all of my arrows. And the inserts seem to stay in. Something with shooting heavy arrows or heavier FOC arrows is that you can potentially have the nocks pop, especially when you use a luminox or a lighted knock. You can have the battery fly out, especially if you miss the target and plant it in a tree. That will definitely happen. So, and that's just a piece of sandpaper, very coarse sandpaper. So those are all done. Let's go ahead and take this guy off. Now, these really do fit in really snug. So sometimes they are a pain to get off and on. Oh, there it is. Alright. And you can see the dust that is inside the arrow, so we'll have to clean that out with a Q-tip. before we glue up. So we got this set up, and then we'll come back in just a second. Make sure we get everything lined up right. Oh, dude, get in there. There we go. Put that in. Feels flush. And you just hand tighten it. There we go. And it's all set up. It's pretty snazzy. You can get that at Sirius Archery. Alright, so now we got the spinner. Looks awesome. I keep the sticker towards the knock. Let's go ahead and get a Q-tip. Alright, so now we want to get our Q-tip in there and let's get out any dust or nastiness we've created. And then to give you a close look at the squaring apparatus, it is just the bearings and then a plate that's bolted with the sandpaper. So that's really cool. Alright, so we have our insert. Now I need to decide which I want to use. Let's go with, so it's a 100 grain steel insert with a sleeve, and then 125 grain black hornet. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that in there, and then if you could look, if you leave it like that, it's got a wobble. You can see the wobble, and that's what makes this spinner ideal for this. Is we got a wobble. Now of course we're going to push it all the way in. And if you go fast, you're not going to see it. When it slows down, you'll see it. So just do it slow. You can see it actually came out. And what we want to do is find the place where there is no wobble. Let's go back and forth. And what I've noticed too is it'll have wobble if there's a lot of play, like this. This comes out really easy. On the ones that I get that are stiffer, they seem to be like dead on. So I've noticed that the fit has something to do with it as well. And this one has a screw hole, so that really lets me, the screw hole lets me see what's going on. That's about it right there. Alright, so what we want to do is index it and mark it. Alright, and we got this marked. Now, what I also like to do is, since I use this broadhead to figure out the alignment, I want to mark this broadhead and this arrow. That way everything is matched up to me correctly. So if I do like a plus sign, and then down here I'll do a plus. Alright, and we have our alignment. So now we can take these apart and we can move on to build the other arrows. So let's grab another one. And we're going to do the same thing over and over. Put the label down by the knock. So we lucked out with this one right here, because that is perfect. Believe it or not, these inserts, it fit in these shafts different. Something when I did my first round of builds, it's something I noticed is each insert and each shaft, or the micro tolerances, it makes a difference. So that's why I use the symbols with the broadheads to match everything back up, because you've aligned it to that insert. I mean, these things are generally pumped out pretty quickly, mass production. So, you know, when you're custom fitting these, you know, just because it spins perfectly doesn't mean you can interchange them, and that's going to happen. That's something I found out. But we're also talking about, you know, now we're really getting nitpicky on our arrow builds. But it's just something I've shown to save time. See, like this one's pretty loose, so let's try this one. It's pretty loose too. Oh, there I gotta need that one. That's right, 6 and 3. And of course, a lot of people are going to say it doesn't matter, and blah. You know, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. That is actually not too bad. But I also shoot a variety of different broadheads. And I get the same point of impact with all of them when I do this. You can look at my previous video. As long as the weight is the same, the arrow will fly. And I build all the arrows the same way as well. Alright, so first thing we want to do is we're going to alcohol the inside of the shaft. Make sure we get it clean, see how dirty it was. That off. And then, very carefully, we'll clean this guy, but we also just gonna score it a little bit. Not much. I thought I brought a piece of sandpaper up here, but I didn't. Alright, and our paper towel. And last one. Alright. Speed this a little up with a paper towel as well. Let's get them cleaned up real quick. Ooh. It's fragrant. Alrighty, get that done. Now I want the one that is not marked. There we go. And I use JV Weld. That's what I use. It works. It's been great. I have literally shot into 2x4s. My point will be just fine. I tried using insert adhesive. It did not work out shooting extreme FOC arrows. It just would not take the abuse. So I'm going to get it about even. Take a Q-tip, break the end off. This should go relatively quick, but we do want to double check our spins, and we want to make sure we take our time and do it right. Got a nice recess in these aluminum inserts. These are aluminum. I needed something that was 25 grains. And it was pretty much the only option I could find. Usually I use steel for my inserts, but the math just works out on these. There we go. Oh yeah, that's super tight. Alright. Now once we got it, we want to clean it off. Some of this and reuse it. Nope. Alright, cool. So we want to go down the arrow. Yes, you don't want to go up towards the broadhead. And go down. And we make sure there's no gap between the insert and the arrow. We're going to get it back on the spinner. There's a bit of a wobble, so let's turn it. Let's see where we did it. Yeah, with aluminum, I got a feeling some of these. This is slow set, so I don't have to be fast about this. I can take my time. Alright, so we got our last one to get done. Go. Alright, well with that, the first major step is done. Next will be knot tuning. I'm still waiting on the 125 grain field points to come in for these arrows, but this is a slow set JB weld, so 24 hours, and then my buddy should be here next weekend to be able to shoot these, so they'll be ready to go. But with this setup, he'll actually be shooting 125 Black Hornets. Got some 125 Samurais coming in, which he'll be able to shoot. These are 200s. I'm gonna give him a 200 Masa and a 200 Samurai and a 200 field point to practice with. And then we have, like I said, we have some Grizzly Stick Samurais coming in, and then he's got 2 packs of the Black Hornets at 125 to shoot. So I'm actually thoroughly impressed with these. I am going to show him how to strop these on leather. I know the Samurai and the Masa, you'll be able to, like, those things will be razor sharp once they're sharp. I've actually target shot with both of them, so they're not exactly as sharp as they come out of the pack, but I will say Grizzly Sticks come extremely sharp out of the box, as well as the 315 Ashbys. I have some of those, and those are wicked sharp. And I like the Masas. So this one's one I haven't shot with, and yeah, it shaves. So I don't know if you can see that, but got some dry skin on there with some hair. So I'll probably give them that one, and then I'll leave the points on while they sit, while they dry. Will dry for a day, and they'll be ready to rock and roll. Alright, y'all take it easy. See you in the next video.